Welcome.
Oh no, what to do? Soon the village will be in danger. If no one puts a stop to this, we'll all be in big trouble. You will listen to what I have to say? Oh, thank you. What's happened is, I recently saw some mechon really close to the village. I'm always going out of the village and collecting scrap nearby. When I was doing that the other day, I saw these huge mechon walking around. I was so scared. I ran off as fast as my legs could carry me. Just think what would happen if those mechon got into our village. Now I'm even more scared. Please help me. Help us all. Protect our village from the mechon.
Well, we've done it before. I might as well do it again. Hey everyone, welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. In the last episode, we hung around the village and did some side quests for the locals, as well as do the last character exclusive challenge battle. In this episode though, we are going to be doing something really special. The side quest as we just accepted has opened up a myriad of things, in more ways than one. Not only is it meeting new characters and getting new chances for quests, loot and whatnot, but that side quest in particular opens up an actual shortcut route in the actual village. If you can just remind back to what Eleqa said in her last few statements, she'll open up a back door of the village. And you know what? She wasn't wrong. This door. Otherwise, if you had to talk to her, it'd be locked, and you couldn't open it unless you accept this quest. It's not much, but hey, it's definitely a shortcut, and it opens up to a boatload of mechon in which you need to take out. But if I could just be brief for a second, God, I love this. I love the environment, and I love the music. I also love especially the fallen armor in its environmental design. Because we talked about it briefly before we stepped into Sword Valley, how there was a transition period between going from the Bionis to the cold, dank Mechonis. And after everything then that happened in the Galahad Fortress, we're pretty much back to that. I don't know, it just seems really nice how there's another transition period between nice, lush green environment in amongst all of the wreckage and whatnot. And then transitions to our overall goal. There's tropics, there's environments, it's all good. But now onwards to a few more enemy varieties. This is not one of them. Worker B unit. Not really much you can say about this guy apart from it's pretty much similar to all of the types of mechon we have, except for the addition of flamethrowers. So inflicts burn damage, but it's only minute as mechon of those sizes would say. And here we have the quest exclusive enemy, the meteor artillery unit. It's not that different from mechon of its archetype, except it's flanked by defensive units and offensive units. It can topple you, and it can do a hefty amount of damage while being buffed up at the same time. Luckily though, you don't outright need shield to deal with this, but Buster definitely does come in handy in order to strike down many enemies at once. So much so that you took out the big bad guy in pretty much one go. Mm-hmm. And again, the offensive and defensive mechon are just pieces of cake. They're simply there for the big guy. But as long as you've got something like Eater present, or anything that can get rid of his buffs, you're pretty much cake. And also, another thing is to be on the lookout for various topples. The setup that we have here is Ashoka, Fiora and Ricky is that we don't need to rely on enchant. Ashoka can take himself, Fiora can do that just fine. Ricky isn't inherently a physical fighter, except for the layout that we have on him right now. But it's worth noting if you want to do that. It's either that, or you could do the Machina weapons in the shop. But it's not all I needed. This particular fight, same thing. As long as you take out his as support and just don't get toppled, you're pretty much a-okay. And I know it's a minor thing, but the Mechon archetype that we're seeing, it's gotta be one of my favorite Mechon types from an animated perspective. How it's got all of these spinny ailments and just how it's all animated constantly.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got the spinning discs that's just set in movement. I don't know. It's just the attention to detail for animation I love.
To me.
Ricky, no like this.
And this is gotta be the easiest fight of them all. Also can't help but notice that his support's been getting less and less and less. He was flanked by 3 support units. Now there's not even one. In fact, the guy who
He turned around.
was meant to help just went, nope.
I'm out of here. Screw that noise.
I've seen what happened to Stan and Bill. They were asked to protect Clive. It did not go well. I, as Billy Robobob, I'm out of here. I'll just come back to see if it's still if the fight's still there. Yep. Break a Hand 4 is pretty much his strongest attack you've got to watch out for. I also love how you killed him and you are just asserting yourself into the fight. Yeah, these fights, they're not really difficult if you know what you're doing and well prepared and have a smashing time with Buster. I'm a Mechon threat that you can't see. Oh no, enemies in which you've already fought. Bye-bye. I also said this before during Soul Valley, but I love what they've done with the place here. Even though it's all rusted and hand mechanic, it all seems vibrant.
Yeah.
I dare say in this JRPG it seems more realistic, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Welcome.
You're all such strong fighters, and because of that, you've made our home safe again. I want to thank you on behalf of the whole village. We're very grateful. Now I can go back to salvaging scrap again. Wish me luck!
Ma'am, I know a good 15-year-old boy in another game who would love you.
Hi everyone. I was wondering if you would be willing to help me again? It turns out the Mechon you defeated were emitting a signal. Now that the signal's stopped, other nearby Mechon have gone on a rampage. Those large Mechon must have been in charge of all the others. With no leader, they've gone completely mad. If they get as far as the village, we're done for. I'm sorry to keep asking you for assistance, but you're the only ones who can help me.
No worry, Ricky know how you feel. Friends, we must help this person.
Thank you, brave fighters. But you do realize the enemy is a whole horde of Mechon? Are you still prepared to accept the mission?
Ricky, have second thoughts.
Sadly, the Mechon have grown weak since we left the capital.
Remember how I said last episode, prepare to fight a lot of like M56s?
Yeah.
This is what I mean. They ask you to fight 10 of these things. I do feel like this side quest, it overstays its welcome just a little bit.
Yeah.
I get the gravitas of the situation, how Mechons aren't army is bad, but The archetype, you've faced enough already, and you don't really need a lot to take it down. It's just, there's no challenge, there's no puzzle or epic final boss to take out. There's just kill Mechon.
And I feel like the Mechon we fought in the first one were stronger than these guys.
Yeah, because at least they had an implied challenge. Like, look, here's one on his own, and then it upscales. There's one with a support, and then finally a one with a boatload of support. Here, this is like just killing grunts in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I will say though, and this is kind of a criticism, but also kind of props to the game. It only took them, what, 70 hours in until it felt like a little bit grindy, a little bit generic. Up until this point, the majority of this game has been creative, challenging, puzzling, and any other synonyms you can think of. Never get satisfying for Buster. Never get satisfying for Buster. And it only gets better with each area, minus all these. I mean, because don't get me wrong, this game has had, like, defeat X amount of enemies and, you know, collect these amount of collectible side quests, but they've never lasted this long. I don't know. I just feel like what they could have done is say, well, what if you took out a variety of enemies? Have like 2 of this archetype and 2 of this archetype,
Or a massive unique monster.
Yeah, sure. I mean, because what is wrong with one more unique monster or a quest exclusive enemy? Oh no, it just seems weird how this late in the game they choose to make a, I don't want to say generic, but generic side quest. And you'll see why I make such a big deal out of it later on, because there's one comparison that I need to make in order for this criticism to make sense. So until then, though, guys, while we're going around doing this, how about we listen to a bit of the soundtrack for a bit? And let's start off with something which we alluded to a little while ago. Alice mentioned that in one of the advertisement, the commercials for Xenoblade Chronicles for the 3DS, they made a live rendition of the main theme. So you know what? Let's just chill, sit back, relax, and listen to that for a little bit.
I prefer it better than the original, to be honest.
And if you want to see why, well, we'll drop it right here for your viewing pleasure. far do you reach, dude?
You're gonna lead him into the city.
Oh my god, we caused a side quest to happen. That'd be awesome. Well, the Mechon would have been fine, but we brought them to you. We're hoping you could make peace.
The metallic sound.
Oh, one of my most favorite sound effects in video games. It's been used since 3D was invented. Well, that's all said and done now. Side quest done. Village saved.
This is the second time you've saved the village for me. I'll never forget that. Now the village truly is safe. I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you. As thanks for everything you've done for me, please take this. It's a collection of research notes left by my father. It looks like it's something to do with the Monado. Since Monado is so important to you, I'm sure it'll be useful.
You want to do this side quest, not for the money, not for the experience, not even for the massive amount of affinity you get. But we have learned another secret Monado art. Monado armor. Do you want to go over that, or do you want me to?
You can go over it.
Over the course of the game, we've had talent art protection, we've had physical protection, and haven't really had much for ether protection. Armor isn't that. However, armor is a jack of all trades regarding defense. It halves physical damage and ether damage, and does it also halve talent art damage as well?
No, I think shield's the only thing that does things for talent arts.
Yeah, so if you are ever in a bind, you have protection from all attacks in some way, shape, or form. This, for me, is one of the most useful and one of the most beneficial Monado art in which you can get. And a lot better than Ether. Or Eater. However, my criticism now can come to light. Remember how we got Eater?
Yeah.
How we had to open up a tomb, fight a unique monster which had killed previous explorers, and how it was found in a coffin where you had to move an ancient tomb.
Yeah.
You know, it was like really locked away. What did we do to get this?
Kill some Mechon.
Kill some Mechon, and oh no, someone just found it in a drawer. Doesn't really hold the same gravitas, if you ask me.
No.
Also, it was found by the Machina. Wouldn't the Machina want to distance themselves from the Monado?
Yeah.
So, again, for one of the better Monado arts, in my opinion, it got such a lackluster side quest and a lackluster payoff. However, I stand by it. You are gonna want armor for pretty much everything that's coming up. It can save your bacon when it looks like you have no hope of getting out. Like armor can't even do that. Protect you from that. But as we get one heart to heart, then we have happiness antlers and flyers. Something we won't speak about until later on. But that criticism aside, guys, and with a new Monado art in hand, I think we'll call things there. So, the village saved and got that little bit stronger. So, that's it though, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this episode, be sure to like it. If you dislike it, well then, you can go to the same place that the Armour cyclist went. To the doldrums of... I don't know, being done with? Being dull? Being boring? I don't know. But either way, if you want to subscribe to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. Or if you want to see us doing other stuff, we have a Twitch channel, that's simply Lightless. But until then, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.